are layouts that I created, some going back as far as May. I just haven't had a chance to share them all. Some of them have no video up even yet, so I'll let you know if there's a video coming for the ones that you may not have seen. But if I don't say anything, it's because there is a video up and you can go and check it out. I have lots of playlists and things like that, so let me jump right in and get started. This is a layout that I created, a 2-page spread. Here you go. That I created for Stretch the Sketch using mostly Wild Whisper stuff from their adventure collection. The mountains and a few things here are from the Timbit Travels collection, and I think there might be a few other little things, like this piece here I know is from Strong and Free, so there's a few other little bits and pieces in here as well. I just went with all of the sort of blues and greens to create this 2-page spread about our hiking adventures. This is a layout that I put together for the Off the Board series using the Stars and Sparklers collection from Close to My Heart that I got from Jen Smith, as well as some bits and pieces from Wild Whisper. Here is another layout that I created. Again, there are bits and pieces of the Stars and Sparklers collection from Close to My Heart, as well as this background paper is actually from the May and June mix-ins. So that's a collection of papers that you get. There's 6 papers in there that are kind of just nice neutral backgrounds that you can use with their new releases that come out every couple of months. And then again, there's a few bits and pieces from Wild Whisper in here and some extra little decorative things that I got from Bo Bunny. This is a layout I did for June's Everyday Inspiration series. I did not get it posted, so the video will be coming up in August. You'll be able to see it, so this is sort of a sneak peek of the layout, and I'll explain everything in the video, but essentially the picture was a picture that Daisy had taken. There were lots of kind of buildings. It was a really cool old structure, and so I really wanted to have lots of different layers and texture and stuff like that because of just the way that the buildings looked. So that's where this sort of all came together. So stay tuned for that video. So this one is documenting all of my plants. I love my little plants, and I have the cutest little planters. Daisy from Daisy Scraps actually got me started on this. She doesn't know that, but one of the very first pictures she ever posted that we used for an everyday inspiration had a planter in it that was, I can't remember if it was also a pig, but it was a cute little animal. And ever since then, I've been collecting them, and so I have a whole bunch of them. All of these cute little guys come from Dollar Tree. Every time they come out, I run and grab them, and my succulents are just growing and growing, and so I'm able to move them around and they propagate really quickly. So I'm able to fill up all of the little cute planters. So I made this layout. And this is also a Stretch the Sketch layout. And this is all using Wild Whisper stuff. So there is a couple different collections. There's the floral collection in here, and then the Play in the Dirt collection. They released it kind of as a double collection. So there's the inside plants and also the outside plants. And I think I've just kind of mixed them all up here. And you know, the flare and even the sequins are part of that collection as well. And the cute little thickers come from Pink Fresh Studios. So a mix of collections, but mostly it's Wild Whisper. I love how this turned out. I think it's so cute, and of course green is my favorite color, so I'm probably gonna love anything I do that's all greens. This is a layout that I created for Wild Whisper for the design team using the collection that they released that was designed by Jen Aguilar from Flip Appeal Designs. She created this really fantastic kind of COVID or pandemic type collection with just some of the different trends and things that were going on while we were all stuck at home. Her collection is called Where the Wi-Fi Is. And so she had a couple of spots, little things here that said, "You're on point." And it instantly made me think of Kaylin being on point. So I went ahead and fixed my little O's to turn them into N's. Let me show you. So you can see I turned it into an E, not an N, sorry, and an E, and then added E's to the end of point, and now I have a layout all about Kaylin being on point in ballet. So I thought that was just kind of fun and different, because if you are a dancer and you've had a dancer for a long time, sometimes it's nice to not have all the, you know, pink ballet tutu layouts. So I thought that this was just a really fun, different way to go ahead and use her collection. And then just to kind of finish it off, I went ahead and put some embossing, heat embossing around the edge using this embossing powder actually, which smells like maple syrup. It's from Emerald Creek. And I just gave sort of the impression of a corkboard and added the little pins. I even used a real post-it note here to create my journaling, so it kind of looks like they're posted on the corkboard. So this was really, really fun to put together and just kind of something different and unique. Here is another layout for the Everyday Inspiration series. This one was actually my turn for the inspiration picture, and I picked this picture. So I actually scrapbooked the picture that I shared with them with my shirt that says, "It's fine, I'm fine, everything is fine." It's something that I've been repeating over and over and over again for the last little while, as life has just been a little bit crazy and chaotic for us. So I just keep reminding myself that we're all good, everything's okay, we're fine, we're fine, we're fine. So this was just a really fun layout to put together. I'm using some Altenew stuff, and then just, you know, bits and pieces from all over the place. Sticker sheets I have, and chipboard that came from Altenew. I got all of that from Christy. I just kind of threw things together, all words and sentences and things that remind me that I'm okay, we're all okay, everything's okay, and we're just gonna keep going forward and figure things out. So I loved putting this together. It was sort of one of those therapeutic layouts, so go check out the video for this one. This is another 2-page layout that I put together for May the 4th. So May the 4th be with you. In this case, obviously, May the 4th be with you. And these are just a bunch of pictures from our time at the Calgary Expo. We haven't been able to go, obviously, in 2 years, but I think they're going to be having one in September, so hopefully we'll be able to get there. But every year we always end up going to this booth here, where you can donate some money to Alberta Children's Hospital or Make-A-Wish Foundation, I think could be the other one. But you get your picture taken with all of the cosplayers. They always come. You can see the times to find out which different characters are going to be there at what time. And every year it gets bigger and bigger. They get more and more cosplayers coming in. They build bigger sets. It's just really fun. And so this was the perfect set of pictures to go ahead and create a May 4th layout. And of course I'm using mostly Wild Whisper again here because they have the amazing fandom collection, which has lightsabers and different quotes and things like that. So perfect for this 2-page layout. I'm actually impressed with how many 2-page layouts I got done in the last few months. So this one was really fun to put together. This is a layout that I created in May to celebrate Scrappy Kathy's 1,000 YouTube subscribers hop that we did, a celebratory hop. It was also May I Scrap Lift You for the month, so it kind of was put towards that as well. This is another layout using some of the same papers as the last one. I posted the video for this one in July though, but again, it's just playing with all those beautiful patterns and pretty papers, and it is actually documenting another porch photo. So we actually had porch photos done twice. This was our first set here, and then this was our second set. So I kind of like that I used the same papers for both. They won't be probably side by side in my album, but I just thought it was kind of nice to use the same papers to at least document one set of these photos. So this is a scrap lift, and I just love how it turned out. This one was really fun to put together as well. Here is a layout that I put together inspired by a Maggie Holmes layout, actually, with some butterflies coming down the center. I have these big packs of butterflies that I got from Dollar Tree and Dollarama. They actually both carried them, so I picked up packs from both places because I was able to find different colors. So I have this cute little picture of Kaylin when she was just a teeny tiny little thing. She's wearing all pink, so I had all these pink butterflies and thought, let's just throw them on there and see how many butterflies we can get on. So they're all kind of layered up, and it was just fun to play around and put them all together. I think this turned out so cute. This is a layout that I put together to celebrate International Scrapbooking Day. So this was released back in May. I actually picked pictures of some of my very best scrappy friends at the Great Canadian Scrapbook Carnival that we go to every year. Obviously the last couple of years it hasn't been happening, but I think once again it's going to be happening this year, so that's really exciting. But they always have a theme. So this year the theme was Canada, because I think this is actually back in 2017 when it was Canada's 150th birthday. So I grabbed those pictures, I grabbed all the little bits and pieces that I had from my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit for this month, for the month of May. Anything that had the words create or talked about art or anything, and I just kind of threw it all on there and created this layout, which was so much fun to do. I love how this turned out. It's very different for me. The colors are very different, and yeah, I had a ton of fun putting this together. This is a layout that I put together for the Wild Whisper design team. It's also actually at the Canadian Scrapbook Carnival, and it was for International Scrapbooking Day as well. Sarah from Sarah Scraps created a beautiful sketch for us, and so I kind of used the round pattern of this Wild Whisper paper in place of where she kind of had circular elements and some of the stamping, and just picked a whole bunch of different pieces from different collections to throw this all together. Scrapbooking 2019, when I did a make and take with the Wild Whisper ladies, Susie and Heather right there, and here's someone who created one of my little make and take Christmas ornaments. So this one again was fun to put together because I just love when you're able to pull out different pieces and kind of find ways to make them all work and blend and stretch all your different collections. So this is a layout that I created for Scrapbooking from the Heart. The theme for June was growth, and so I obviously thought of flowers and butterflies and things like that, imagery that to me kind of talks about growth. And then the month before, the theme was actually renewal, and I wasn't able to get that one done, so I kind of combined them. And so I talk a little bit about you know, how it's okay to kind of renew yourself, and that's how you learn and you grow and you keep becoming a better and better person. So these little sections, not all of them, but a bunch of them actually pop open with all of my little hidden journaling. Like that, with just fun little reminders and uplifting messages to myself about, you know, growing and becoming the best me that I can be. This is a layout that I created for the Off the Board series, where I actually used a video of someone who does acrylic art, and so I tried my hand at the same sort of technique but with some watercolors, and then I just added a bunch of hearts in here and some stamping and just created this really fun layout with some family photos from a few years ago. I think that this turned out so great, and it was really fun to play around with the paint. So this is a layout that I created for the Wild Whisper design team using their Happy Tales collection and one piece of paper from Close to My Heart. And I love this collection because it actually features my sweet little Salem, who's no longer with us, and also Storm. This is my little kitten Storm. So I just love being able to kind of add those personal touches, knowing that they have extra meaning behind them. This is a layout I created for Christmas in May, I think it was. So again, just a really simple scrap lift that I picked out, and I just wanted to have something that didn't have too much busyness to it, because this is one of my favorite pictures of all time of my little Sebastian with Santa Claus, and so I really wanted that to stand out and be the focus. This is a layout that I created for this really fun game that Christy put together called Mystery Scrapbooker. Actually, it's funny. It was inspired by The Masked Singer, and I think, is there also The Masked Dancer? I can't remember. But she had kind of approached a bunch of people and asked if we wanted to be part of something like that, and then another group released their version of the Masked Scrapbooker before we had the deadline for ours, so we quickly changed the name, and Christy went with the Mystery Scrapper. So a bunch of us all created layouts. We all covered our photo or just used a photo that Christy gave to us, so we all had the same thing, and then people had to try to guess who created each layout. So it was a lot of fun. There is a video up for it in July, so you can go and check that out. Here is a fun Easter layout that I created using the Daisy Meadows collection from Close to My Heart that I got from Jen Smith. So all the papers and the stickers, and I just kind of threw a whole bunch of stuff on there. It is a scrap lift of a layout that someone posted, I think in the Happy Scrappy No Crappy page, and I just really loved it, and I thought it would work well with this collection, so I went for it, and I think this turned out so fun. I just love all the elements, and it's just so busy, but everything pops out, and I think it just is a super cute layout. So this is another 2-page layout that I created using the Big Skies collection from Close to My Heart that I got from Jen Smith. And this paper here, it's rainbow, but it actually kind of reminded me of raindrops, and then there's sort of this like fun hot air balloon paper and stuff, and there's you know, the wind blowing and things like that. So I thought this would be really fun to document our little guy splashing around in the puddles and playing in his muddy buddy and getting all wet and having fun. And so I just love how this turned out. There's sort of this pop of color running through the center, and then it's like the gray skies, and I added little sequins to kind of look like the rain and some cork clouds. The cork and the sequins all came from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and then the title down here just kind of fit in perfectly. So I love how this came together. Everything just kind of fit exactly where I needed it to. So cute. This is the layout that I created for Everyday Inspiration for July. It was Dolly's inspiration, so she gave us the background that she uses on her phone, which is, it was sort of this rainbow background with the yin and yang in the middle, and then I think a lotus flower or something kind of in the back a little bit around the yin and yang. And so obviously I pulled out the rainbow from that, and then I wanted something sort of circular, so I went into my Pinterest board because July was also off the board for the whole month. I found the inspiration of this beautiful round stained glass that I thought would be really fun. So then I went and found a cut file. I thought I had a round cut file that I was going to use, but then I found this one from Paper Issues that says love, love, love. And so I decided I liked that better, so that's what I've put down. But there's kind of the whole background and where the inspiration came from. And then I added a bunch of sequins in there and some splatters of white over top and a little bit of embroidery floss, just as a bit of a different texture to it, and this super cute picture of my little guy. And yeah, this was so much fun to put together, and I love how it turned out. And of course that rainbow background on the black cardstock just really pops. This is a layout that I created for the Off the Board series using this beautiful collection from Close to My Heart and Jen Smith, and I just love how it has this sort of rustic farmhouse kind of country feel to it and all the beautiful colors. And so I have all these strips going here. This is the sticker that It came with a sticker sheet that is just the perfect title, and then a few little splatters and some wood veneer hearts, and that's it. I didn't want to add too much to it because I just kind of love how beautiful it is, and then it really showcases our photo, and you can really see the detail in our photo, which is from World Adoption Day in 2020, which happens to be the exact same day that we found out that we were being placed with a new little guy, so kind of an exciting day. This is another layout that I created for the Off the Board series running all month long in July. My inspiration came from Daisy, who took the inspiration from Christy, so it was kind of a fun little hop from one person to the next. Hers said boy, so there were just 4 strips going down, boys, sorry. So there were 4 strips going down, and I thought I have this big cute picture of Stormy here when she was just a brand new little kitten, and I thought Storm would work really well in the same way that Daisy had the word boy. So I went ahead and did that. I painted some of the cork little clouds that I have. I used up that whole pack. Those are from Spiegel Mom Scraps. I had these cute little kind of flat-backed cabochons that are in the shape of teardrops that I used for rain, and I kind of just really wanted to play with the darker colors of the blacks and grays, and I added some blue in there, and I love how this turned out. I think this might be one of my favorites that I did this month because it was so much fun to pull together, and I just think it really showcases how cute this picture is. I love it. This is another layout for the Off the Board series. I just really love these types of layouts where there's lots of mixed media in the background and then tons and tons of cute little details all tucked in everywhere and stamping and all that kind of stuff. So I thought I would try my hand at it. It's sort of monochromatic because I was following the color of Kaylin's dress. And also I went into my Wild Whisper stash, and the adventure collection that they have from a couple releases ago has lots of greens, and they're all those like gorgeous earthy greens, so it really worked out well. And I used some of my Prima crayons in the background and all kinds of stuff and just pulled this all together. This is so much fun to do. I even stenciled. I just went for it. Lots of different stamping. I love doing layouts like this, and I think this one turned out so fantastic. This absolutely cute layout I love as well. I really had a lot of fun this month, as you can tell. So all of these supplies, the papers, come from Rosie's studio, and I got them from Christy, and when she sent me the package of Happy Mail, she had actually already cut out the X and the O. I'm not sure if she had a plan that just she didn't follow through with or whatever it is, so I kind of have had it in the back of my mind that I have this X and an O to use. So I pulled out this piece of paper from the the May and June mix-ins from Close to My Heart. I pulled out a few pieces of cardstock that I got from Daisy from Cardstock Warehouse, and then these little bits of ephemera actually come from Recollections from Michael's, and I kind of pulled all of those things out and tried to figure out how I could put them all together, and I ended up finding my Pinterest inspiration, I guess you could say, in these really cute quilted or kind of like fabric scraps that were put together onto a card, and I thought I could kind of piece together all of the pieces of paper that I have that are all scraps because I used most of them for another project that I'll show you in a second. I could piece together all of the scraps that I have kind of in a similar way. So that's where this all came from, and it turned out so cute, and look at my sweet little bunny in there. This is a layout that I created. It's the very first layout actually that I created July 1st. And this is my, I guess, tribute, I guess you could say, to the victims and survivors of residential schools here in Canada. The first grouping of children that were recovered from residential schools, there were 215 of them in Kamloops, BC, and so I really wanted to get 215 hearts into this larger heart, so that's where all that stamping comes from. Orange is the color that we wear here in Canada, and I think in the States as well. to symbolize that every child matters and that these children need to be found and brought home to their families, and you know, their stories need to be told, and we can't forget what these atrocities are. So it was a really important layout for me to do. My little guy is Métis, and so this is part of his history, and I really wanted to make sure that I told that story. So the pictures are actually from the vigil that we attended, and we put some shoes down in remembrance of any of our ancestors who may have been part of this story. And so this is what I actually chose to do instead of a Canada Day layout for the 1st of July. We didn't celebrate Canada Day this year. We used it as a day of reflection and a day of thinking about what type of country we truly want Canada to be in the future. And then this layout is my last layout for the month of July. I did not get all 31 days scrapped, but I do have a bunch more coming up, and I think I did pretty good. So I'm kind of proud of myself after a rough spring, I guess you could say. So this is a layout that I put together to use this cut file that says Just Go. This came from Pear Tree Cut Files, and there is a hop that I created this for to celebrate Marie's first birthday with Pear Tree Cut Files, and I used all Wild Whisper supplies except these grays. Those are actually cardstock from Walmart. And so everything else, all the little ephemera, the sequins, all of that, even these words here, that is all Wild Whisper. I used some corrugated cardboard. It's actually a sleeve from Starbucks to back the boots, and I just created this really fun layout about one of the hikes that we took last year. So this is my COVID traveler's notebook. So I have this layout that I did. I think I did this one in May, and then I did this page here, and I've done this page here, documenting us being super trendy and baking lots of bread. My husband is a chef, so we actually bake all the time, but we were doing some of the trends that were kind of happening, like the sourdoughs and stuff like that. And then this one here. Here again, I have another trendy thing that we tried, which is the whipped coffee, the Dalgona coffee. Super, super fun. You've got to try it at least once if you're a coffee lover. It was really delicious, but it's not the kind of thing that I think I could have all the time. It would just be like an extra special treat, I think. So that was really fun to make. And then I think that was it. Yep, that was it for Traveler's Notebooks. I also created this little mini album. This was actually 2 videos. I took inspiration kind of in 2 different ways. So the first inspiration was actually putting the album together, and then the second was how I kind of decorated it, I guess you could say. So this was using just 3 pieces of 12 by 12 cardstock, and the inspiration piece was kind of showing how you could cut the mini album and score it to make your album from one 12 by 12, but I knew I needed more than just one piece, so it folds out here, and then these fold down, and here this one folds down. I altered it a little bit. There were flaps that actually folded over. I think I kept one of them. I didn't keep all of them. Oh yeah, I kept this one here. So all the pages had this little flap, but I didn't really need all of my pages to have it. So all the pictures of the extra pictures, I guess, of our porch photo session. And then I have to print out the other 2 of Sebastian. I don't have them. And then I have a little pocket right here where I put 2 pages together so I can add some journaling. But I need to print off those those 2 pages, and then it'll be fully done. So that was my cute little mini album that I created. And all of these little papers are from Rosie's Studio that I got from Christy, and a few little bits that I actually got from Scrapbook Your Joy. Most of the puffy stickers I got from her, just to kind of add to what Christy had given me. So that's my little mini album. And then the very, very last thing that I want to show you is my December daily. So I finally started my 2020 December daily. So I got the cover done here. This is using the Holly Jolly collection from Close to My Heart. It's the card set. So, and the album is also from Close to My Heart, and most of these pages are from Close to My Heart. So here's the cover page. And then here is day 1 where our elves were in isolation. Poor elves couldn't do anything for 14 whole days. So that is it. That's pretty much everything that I have done in the last few months. I know that was a big haul. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. I hope that the craziness of the last 6 or 7 months is going to be dying down, and I should be back to posting regularly starting in probably September. So yeah, wish me luck with that. Thank you so much for all of your support, for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. I love you all, and I will talk to you again soon. Until then, happy scrapbooking. Bye.